Hey guys, TechGeekHD here again with another video, and I wanted to show you guys my top 5 photography apps in this video, and so that's of course what I'm going to be doing, but I also wanted to let you guys know that there is going to be a lack of a couple videos now in the next coming days or weeks, and possibly even a month, for 2 reasons. The first one being the more major reason pertaining to my life in particular is the fact that I actually just underwent surgery on my chest, and I actually am not super mobile. I'm pretty much bedridden for most of the day. I can walk around a little bit, but it's pretty severe. So it's going to take me about a month to recover and to get back to my normal daily routine. And the second reason, which is not as important, but pretty important to me anyway, is the fact that I don't have a computer on hand. So I actually sold my MacBook Air, and I'm looking into buying, or I have decided to buy the 15-inch late 2013 Haswell 2 GHz 256 GB SSD Core i7 with the Intel Iris Pro integrated graphics 15-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display as my new main computer, but it is going to take me a little while to get my hands on that. I do have the funds available, but I don't have the means of actually getting the computer to me, since it actually costs about $820 more here in India where I live. So I'm actually trying to get some of my relatives to bring it over for me from the US. I'm just going to have it shipped to their address over or via Amazon, and then just have them bring it over here for me whenever they visit next. So anyway, without any further ado, let's actually move on to the top 5 photography applications for iOS. Alright guys, so the first application that I'm going to be showing you guys is called Lightly, and I did actually make a video on this application a couple days ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago, depending on when I'm uploading this video. But essentially this is a super simple application to use to edit your videos, or edit your photographs on your iPhone rather, and this is actually available only on iOS. Now basically it just gives you a whole bunch of different filters and different gesture-based ways of controlling these filters on your device, and it also does give you a couple more options down here where you can actually fine-tune some of the details. And of course, when you move your phone side to side, you can see more of the image, so you can sharpen the image or soften it. You can of course adjust the vibrance, which essentially just deals with a lot of the contrast, as well as add a vignette and then move the vignette around the photograph, and then just save the photograph, export it. You can save it to your camera roll or to a bunch of other social networks such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or just message it or email it to someone. Now in addition, I also did mention in my review that it is a little bit difficult to do this, but if you use 2 fingers, you can actually tap on the image and see the before and after. I think this is an interesting idea, but it hasn't been executed properly, because using your fingers, you're essentially covering up most of the image, and it's a little difficult, especially if you have larger hands like myself. But either way, that is Lightly, and that was my number 1. Now these applications are not in any particular order, they're just applications that I'm going to be talking to you guys about one after another. So the next one I'm going to be talking about is called ViscoCam, or rather, sorry, ProCam, and this was actually recommended to me by a fellow YouTuber, somebody or one of my viewers who commented on one of my videos. So I'm actually just going to select an image here, come over to Cars, and this is a pretty cool one. This is a Mercedes S-Class 2014. So we'll just edit that, and again, very similar to Lightly, it gives you a bunch of different things you can do. You can play with the brightness, and of course this does change not as quickly as in Lightly, so it's not exactly real time, but it's pretty close, and you can of course change the contrast of the image, change the saturation of the colors, the temperature. One of the things I like the most about this is that it lets you change the white balance, which is extremely important if you're taking photographs on an iPhone and you're in like indoor lighting like I am right now. But overall, I think this application is pretty nice, and I would definitely recommend it. Now, Lightly and ProCam are both for free, as is the next application, which is called ViscoCam. Now, this is already pretty popular on the App Store, and it has been for a pretty long time. It doesn't really require too much of an introduction, except for the fact that it has got a couple new updates, and it has been adding different filters and different galleries that are available for you to actually play with when you're editing your photographs. So basically what you do is you import your photograph, and you can edit it from down here. Now, most of these applications are very simple and very similar when it comes to editing, but here's a picture of my dog. I can change the intensity of the filter, of course, and play with a couple other settings again, including saturation, exposure, and things like that, and then save the image. But I really like ViscoCam because I like its interface, and I think this is a very cool application, and there has to be a reason that it has received so much of a positive feedback since it ever came out, as in comparison to a bunch of other applications. So I would definitely recommend at least taking a look, if not actually using it as your default photo editor. Now, the next photo editing application that I have to show you guys is called Afterlight, and again, I did make a video review of this application. This is the only paid application on this list, but basically, again, very similar to the other applications. You can open up an image, but one of the things I really like about this is that it gives you more things that you can play with. You can actually add noise and grain to your image if you so like that, and you can again change the fade, add a vignette. This is an overall very nice interface, and the thing that I use Afterlight for the most is adding these flares, which I really like the look of flares in photographs, and of course you can play with them and put them into different orientations and things like that, but I think this looks very cool. I use a lot of these specific flares on a lot of my Instagram photographs, and people seem to find them very popular, and I get a lot of positive feedback on those images, so I thought I might as well include Afterlight in this video. Now finally, the last application that I have to show you guys for photography on iOS is actually called Photoshop Express. Now of course this is created by Adobe, and I'm just gonna hit don't allow because I don't want to actually have them check out my stuff. But either way, you can take a picture. Yes, you can use my camera, but I'm just gonna take a picture of my drums over there. Here's the image. Of course there is digital zoom, but this has some pretty interesting filters as well, which again update in real time or while you're scrolling through them in the image. I really like these negative filters and stuff. But one of the things that I use this for the most is actually noise reduction, which is actually a paid feature, so this application does have in-app purchases. But again, overall, it's pretty simple to use. You just save it, you can share the image. It has a pretty nice user interface. It has a bunch of features that you can use. And overall, I would definitely recommend Photoshop Express for anyone. It's a free application, so you might as well download it and just try it out. If you don't like it, you can delete it. But for the most part, I think you would probably end up liking it, if not loving the application, especially with the bunch of really cool in-app purchases that you can make when using this application. Now either way guys, that does about do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, it would be really awesome if you guys could leave the video a like rating by hitting the little thumbs up button in the bottom left hand corner of this video. And for more videos like these, as well as other unboxings, reviews, tutorials, and much more, please do remember to subscribe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.